Hi, my name is Obedor Seyus, and I'm an immigration attorney in the United States. And I would like to welcome you to Seyus. And I'm an attorney, an immigration attorney in the United States. And I would like to welcome you to my immigration tutorial series. And this one, it's how to fill out form I-130. Anyway, if you want to order this tutorial or any immigration form tutorial that I have issued, I prepared, please go to my website at oneuscis.com or at immigration-forms.biz and to order one of the tutorials that you would like to have. Anyway, and this form I-130, it's a form that is used by a US citizen or a resident who's applying to eventually get his or her family member to become a resident in the United States. So basically, if you have a family member who's that you would like to eventually become a resident in the United States, the I-130, this is the first form that you would have to prepare. It doesn't matter whether you're a US citizen or you're a resident. It doesn't matter whether you're applying for a brother, sister, wife, husband, parent, child. The I-130, you would have to fill it out to establish the relationship or between you and your relative that you want to become resident in the United States. All right, this form has several sections. Let's look at the form. It says I-130, as you can tell on top. It says I-130. It tells you when it expires. You have to make sure that if you have a form that that has expired, you want to go to uscis.gov, which is the immigration website, or to see if they have new forms that have been issued since, because sometimes for certain forms they may not accept old forms, so you want to make sure that you're using the current form. And even though if you have a form, just because the form has expired does not mean that they will not accept it. So therefore, that's a very important that you check and to ensure that you're filling out the proper form, or that they will receive it, they will accept the form that you're filling out. Anyway, okay, now let's go to I-130 form. And let's say we have somebody by the name of Jane Miles. Jane Miles just got married to somebody by the name of Richard Smith. Jane Miles was born in Kansas City, Kansas, and Richard Smith was born in London, in United Kingdom. Richard Smith, let's say Richard Smith is a student in the United States, and they fell in love and they got married. So now Jane Miles would like to petition for her husband to become a resident. So as I said, the first form that she will have to fill out is the I-130, and the I-130 has several sections. Let's look at the section. Okay, we have section A. In section A of the form, on the part 1, it's asking the person who filing the petition, in this case Jane Miles, is asking Jane Miles, who are you filing the petition for? So we know Jane Miles is filing the petition for her husband, so we'll check. You see, you check here, husband. If it was for her parent or brother, sister, for a child, she will check the appropriate box here. On part 2, under that section, it's asking whether the person that you're filing the form for, in this case Richard Smith, whether Richard Smith is related through Jane Miles by adoption. We know that's not true. They are related through marriage and not by adoption, so therefore you check no. And it's the same for section 3. which is asking how if the petitioner has gotten permanent resident through adoption. We know that Jane Miles was born in the United States, so she was never a permanent resident. She's been a US citizen all her life, so we check no here. Let's move the forms a little bit up. Okay, now section B. We have section B. Section B usually, section B is the section where the USCIS or the immigration is asking questions about the petitioner, the person who's applying for the family member. And if you have section C here, that's where the you would have, the petitioner would have to fill out information about the person the petitioner is applying for, in this case Richard Smith. All right, now here on the B part 1, section B part 1, that's where Jane Smith will put her last name, family under family name, put first name under her first name, and put middle name. You notice she used to be Jane Miles, but when she married, she used her previous last name as her current middle name, and she took her husband's last name. So that's why we have family name Smith, first name Jane, and middle name Miles. Okay, if you look at part 1 on the C, is asking information about your family relative, so about Jane Miles, about about Richard Smith. So you would put your family member's name here. In this case, Jane Smith is putting her husband's last name here and husband's first name there. There is no middle name for Richard Smith, so we didn't put any middle name. Now on this part 2, section B, this is where you would put the address of the petitioner. In this case, this is the petitioner is Jane Smith. So I put the address here, you see, and also on the part 2, I'm putting the address of the husband. That would be part 2, section C. That would be the husband of Jane Miles Smith. That would be basically Richard Smith. Some people like to fill out these forms. They want to fill the section B first and then goes to section C. You notice that I'm filling them at this, both sections at the same time. That would be your preference. Let's go to section part 3, section A. This is where you put Jane Miles, or Jane will put her